We have someone in the house who I absolutely adore, and I'm very proud of like a son. He is going to be reading on the 23rd at the National Arts Club as part of the Young Poets. I got him presented and they loved his work. Yes! Michael Rose. Good to see you,
Alright. Hey everybody. Alright. I thought I'd start with just thinking a little bit about your character Jen, and this kind of poem came to mind. So I'll start with this one. Alright, here we go. If I can find it. Okay. Alright, this is called Beauty Has No Eyes. Beauty has no eyes. I love the sound of your voice. It sounds like a baby whale cooing into ocean currents for its mother. Your voice is soft like that. Your laugh is abrupt. It hears itself and always hides in the shadows behind the moon. It always bears your thoughts sunk in sweet yellow currents, soft and delicate, but heard. I hear what you cannot, your heart beating 2 by 2, your breath on my hair beneath my scalp, your hands like porcelain glass, sides the curves of blue earth, back like honey. I hear the parts of you with my hands, too. For beauty, it is said, has no eyes. So that's that for Jen. I work in a school with 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and always reminding the kids that beauty's in the eye of the beholder kind of a thing, because they're always the girls are always doing like body image issues. So I'm very passively, because I'm a dude, I'm always like, beauty's, I look down, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, It's just, remember that, don't forget it. All right, here we go. All right, so I guess it's a poet, so I guess it's April's Poetry Month, right? So I read, this is a poem I wrote. I wrote it with trying not to make any edits while I wrote it. That was the goal. So if you heard it, here it is again. And so basically, I never backspace. Here, this is what came out. Ad hoc, written apparently October 20th, 2017. Here it goes. What if I wrote a poem without a single edit, not a single backspace? How quickly would it become a mistake? Indeed, errors would abound, would fly like daggers to the earth and space, stanzas too far apart. It would be confessional. I would need to head to the wisdom of forethought and the compassing of form. My love's eyes would beam in my heart like a beam of light. Her words would sound in my spirit like a xylophone ringing beside dusk. Britain's poet laureate would brim into my mind like the scratchy foam of a boiling pot of pasta water. I would need to try and maintain my honesty. I would travel to the interweb and confess that I once, in a microscalar moment, laid down my feet, knees, head, and arms to the following edit: the firmament of a pasta dish foaming to the top. Baal would surely bear me rain for the crops that tend the gardens of poem and sing in the music of Yahweh's dreams. One hopes. My greed overcame my instinct for truth, but that speaks little to the truth that points my human feelings at the sky. Indeed, pine for the lie, for you can voice the truth and learn that our dreams differ because our hearts are larger than the boats that sail the world. What does that mean? You, sweet reader, please decide from within our collective worlds of loneliness. The flight of the alone to the alone calls us like a trumpet on Mount Olympus. Dear reader, I am weary. This poem coughs on and on like a dying man. I must make some last honest words to quench your mouths like red wheelbarrows in your hearts, like hollows glazed with rain beside white chickens. At last the fence of my mind must shake with the sounds of the humble train beneath my mind. Again, 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 the rhythm of my life beats without a real self, without the candle that can stay lit in the rooms of 1,000 worlds. Can you get at, dear reader, the meanings of poems? I write alms for the clone army inside the autumn of my world. I thought, in the early hours of this day, that all true purpose in this world is the salve of the trauma of our youths, a needed medicine. I say this because this poem is a gift from myself to myself. All truth there ever was is here. I digress, like a slinking alley cat. I laugh because what is life without laughter, bounding at the ends of poems, not the games men play. The derivative of this poem is the game, the game, the game. But do not forget the train, the trauma, and the laughter, dear reader, again and again and again. All right. If you were listening, you know I did edit one line. All right. Here's another one. Again, I guess it's Poetry Month, so I'll read this poem. This is, I'm sure many of you will empathize. It's called After Finishing a Poem. After Finishing a Poem. Light bends, and the imperfection of my words whop against my insides like a monsoon against a door. Right? Ain't the truth. I thought of this when Terrence was reading, so I'll read this. It's a little heady, but it's not too heady. It's called The Moon Song's Swing Song. I guess it's a bit of a, yes, sir. It's a bit of a response to, I guess, some of Nietzsche's thoughts on nihilism. The Moon Song's Swing Song. I move to the Moon Song's swing song. I ask solely that we hear one another, stand untethered, be unfettered, move without moonlight's bites nipping with all the nocturnal gnats at our backs. When did the goddess's fingers become a freight 1,000,000 miles long? Where have we gotten our ancient bones thrown? Rivers, tides, oceans, and wines, where now do we go? Against the son of the sun's son? If so, where is the mythic mountain we wish to climb up? Without our mental gravitational whole, complaining it is unwhole. Where is our silly non-compass compassing us now? Here, in a silkless non-thought, web thought, we are undone. We topple down now like blocks of clocks of birds reaching for the sun, but lost. Here, without visions. Here, without eternity. I have heard it said, the pipers are piping it, the hooters hooting it, the rumors rumoring the word, rewording it. Christian angels laugh and are laughing it. We are kings, each of us, but somehow we believe we are beggars on the streets, says Osho. What have we forgotten? What fossilized magic has archaeology not found in its fantastic search through the mists of Africa? What soil has not been raked? We are kings? How do we even begin to remember our noble root? How do we search for what we do not know, Rabbi, Socrates? How do we again begin to start to think? And what lithic thing might we find once we do? Dithyrambic drummers beat the beatings of ancient wings on leather-bound book backs. They beat pens on parchment and heads on old enlightenment. They tell us we are there, nipping at its heels, and that we are again coming to remember what is Atman once again. Each time it rains, our souls are feeling once again, the stars breathing once again, once again, once again. This is Atman. The Aegean tides feel us once again, returning to our center in the clouds on the fin of the eternal eastern wind. Socrates hears the wind drift in and writes a poem. Breeze, she returns from the southern darkness after many thousand li and dips her wings into the topmost layer of the sea. Boundless are we, asks she. No, boundless we are, says me. Boundless are we, asks she. No, boundless we are, says me. Boundless are we, asks she. Yes, yes, I say boundless. Boundless are we, says me. Thank you.